Hey, I'm Haydn Halsted, your Spokane real estate resource, and just 10 miles from Spokane sits one of the most underrated communities in the inland Northwest, Suncrest, Washington. With sweeping river views, space to spread out, and access to nature, this spot has quietly become the largest community in Stevens County, which is just north of Spokane County. So today I'm giving you a full tour of Suncrest. We'll check out what it's like to live there, where the real estate market is going, the lifestyle, schools, commute, and what the locals really think of this area. So if you're thinking about relocating to Spokane or anywhere nearby, don't forget to like this video and grab my free location guide down in the description, where you can also schedule a meeting with me and my team, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. Suncrest is perched on a plateau overlooking Long Lake, the reservoir created by the Long Lake Dam on the Spokane River. So from here, it's just under 10 miles to the Spokane city limits and about 25 minutes to downtown Spokane. So you're located in the southeast corner of Stevens County on State Route 291, and it's the main thoroughfare through the town. So most homes sit between the river and the highway, with the retail centers and commercial space on the opposite side of 291. You've got bluff views, steep canyons, pine trees, and a real sense of separation from the busyness of the city. Suncrest began as a development in the 60s, but the major growth happened in the 80s and 90s when over 1,000 homes were built. And today you'll see everything from ranchers on acreage to craftsman-style homes in cul-de-sacs and even some gated communities. The housing market here has a really wide range. Inland homes typically sell for the low 300s to the high 600s. Bluff homes with big views but limited water access have recently sold for around $950,000. But the waterfront homes that are level with the lake, that's where the value jumps. I mean, there's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath on the market for $550,000 right now. But recently a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 125 feet of waterfront sold for $850,000, and with some sweat equity, it's likely worth over $1 million. So if water access is a priority, it's all about the location, and those rare flat lots directly on the lake are really hard to come by. If you're into the outdoors, Suncrest has everything from boating, kayaking, fishing, hiking, horseback riding, and mountain biking. There are community access waterfront parks, and in some of the neighborhoods, a membership is built in. So if you live in the Suncrest community, you actually get your own private gated beach, which is amazing. It's very clean, and it's awesome for the community. I can't even access it myself unless I'm showing a house there and have a code to the gate or anything like that. But in this community, Long Lake is your backyard, and you're just minutes from the north end of Riverside State Park. So the setting here feels a world away from the city, and it's a huge reason people move out this direction. Suncrest is served by the 9 Mile Falls School District with 4 main schools: Lake Spokane Elementary, 9 Mile Falls Elementary, Lakeside Middle School, and Lakeside High School. Lakeside High even partners with Eastern Washington University, offering dual credit opportunities. And on the services side, you've got a regional fire and EMS station, a medical center, and a full service public library, which has become a true community hub for everything from internet access to homeschooling support. Suncrest has 2 main retail hubs, the Suncrest Outpost and the Plaza at Suncrest. You'll find a Rosar's grocery store and a few fast food spots like a Subway or a Zips, and local favorites like the 291 Brew House, Chill Out Ice Creamery, and Hot Toddy's Coffee. There's also a dental and medical clinic right here in the middle of the town as well. So while it's not exactly a nightlife destination, you're not driving 30 minutes just for milk and eggs either. All those kind of necessities are up there in Suncrest. But State Route 291 is the main access point in and out, and if you're commuting into Spokane, expect a 20 to 30 minute drive depending on traffic and weather. One local spot you'll hear about is Big Sandy, and that's the long hill that takes you to from Suncrest into 9 Mile Falls. It's scenic, but during winter storms, it could be dicey, and that said, road crews do a pretty solid job keeping the main arterials plowed, and this is the kind of community where neighbors are going to bring out their own trucks if needed to clear the roads. This land has a deep history. The Spokane tribe lived along the river for thousands of years, relying on salmon runs that ended where the Long Lake Dam was built in 1950 without a fish ladder. In 1810, just a mile upstream, Spokane House became the first permanent European settlement in the state of Washington. And so now Suncrest itself didn't start developing until the 1960s, but by the late 90s, it had outgrown the Stevens County seat of Colville. The growth continues today, especially for buyers looking for land, lake access, or a place to live a little slower. And so I checked out a Reddit thread where locals shared their experiences, and here's what they're saying. One former resident called it the perfect place to grill a steak, shoot fireworks, and walk your dog by the lake. Several mentioned how great it was to have more land and how being close to the lake made summers awesome. But the trade-offs are no real nightlife, not a ton of restaurants, and commuting can be kind of a drag. If you work from home, it's really a perfect place, but if you're driving downtown to and from twice a day, then that definitely can add up. And yeah, like I said, the Big Sandy Hill in the winter is not for the faint of heart, but the community looks out for each other when the roads are getting tough. So that's your full tour of the Suncrest, Washington, the lakeside community that feels like a peaceful getaway, but still keeps you close to Spokane. If you're craving river views, more space, or just a slower pace and don't mind the commute, this place might be your perfect match. So if you're thinking about moving to Spokane or anywhere nearby, hit the link below for a free relocation guide or to book a strategy session with me and my team. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.